Howdy folks, Brian Cusco back here at the Roseville Reptile Show with somebody who I've wanted to have on for quite some time. I've had her on the vlog channel when she was so kind to have a little private tour in the back room of the Slow Reptile Show with the kids, and just a phenomenal human being, very good at what she does. I think you'll agree. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Brandi Blue. You watch Triple B TV. You have always been awesome in my eyes. Like from the first moment I saw you, I think it was at Jay's. You had the sloth down at Jay's. I think it was the first time I met you in person. And then at the slow show that happened right before like the whole world
right
shut
before
down.
COVID shut down.
Yeah, like that slow show got through by the skin of his teeth. But we pull in and you're like, the kids are there and you're like, come check out all these animals.
I know, I love your kids.
It was so odd. Like you made their day that day.
You have beautiful kids though, so it's easy.
I feel like you're probably like that with most kids and animals and
I love kids, but like it's nice when kids are calm and they love animals, and you can just tell because that's how you raise them. So it's nice to be around kids like that.
Sure.
And there's always like the kids in the last show that are like, "Oh, you have a 5-foot Caiman out? Let me crawl on stage right now." And I'm like, maybe not those kids.
Fair enough. Well, how long have you been doing what you're doing?
Oh my gosh. So I started Safari Encounters when I got a rescue ringtail lemur 13 years ago. And she came from just like a crappy roadside zoo, and it was the free animals that always cost you thousands of dollars. My best friend is a speech pathologist, so I started bringing them into her clinic. And so Safari Encounters, outside of all the reptile expos, all the birthdays, we actually are a therapy program. So we go into hospitals with kids, and so I've been doing what I've been doing, working in a zoo system for 15 years now. And so I started when I was 15, and I was just like a junior zookeeper, and then it just kind of spiraled
In
after that.
like AZA zoos or something? Or?
Yeah, I was in a big AZA zoo. I was working first as a tour guide, then I was working in animal care, and then I worked my way up to the education department. I got a bachelor's degree, and I thought I had to get a big kid job. So I actually have a bachelor's degree in engineering. I hated it. And so I kept doing the therapy program. And so to fund it, I started speaking at reptile expos. I started doing birthdays. We do school programs, all of it. And so especially here in California, I mean, I'm sure you're aware of all the permits that are involved. So to fund it, that's how we fund it. And so we get rescue animals and all kinds of stuff. So yeah.
So you're from California, and that's why you're...
I'm not from California.
You're not from California?
I'm not from California.
What are you doing here in this state with all these laws?
You know, I had like a challenge. Where do you think I'm from? Very careful.
Oh, man.
I don't have an accent.
You're not... I'm not... Yeah, there's no accent for me to go off of here. Are you from the West Coast?
No.
No? Oh, my gosh. I feel like somewhere in my brain I'm supposed to know this, but I'm not placing it. It's not Texas, is it?
It's close.
Okay.
Not Texas, though.
Not
Texas is my enemy.
Well, it's not Louisiana.
No.
New Mexico?
I would be much tanner if I was from New Mexico.
I don't know. How long have you been in California now?
I know, I'm still pale.
Yeah.
I'm from Oklahoma.
Okay, that was my next guess after I dodged all around it.
Yeah, no, I'm from Oklahoma. I was born and raised there. I moved to California 6 years ago. So Safari Encounters actually started in Oklahoma and then shifted to California.
So you do just like a challenge.
I do. I was like, you know what, this is a really hard state to get permitted in for. Sure, let's do it. And it actually works in my favor. I mean, not in my favor, but, you know, I was really tired of just seeing really bad private ownership. Not that all private owners are bad, but it was really hard to see, you know, ringtail lemurs being kept as pets and nobody having any idea on what they turn into, like doing any kind of research. You know, you see it a lot in crocodilians too. You know, like there are beautiful private ownerships. I'm not against private owner at all. It's just not everybody needs those animals. So it was hard. So California doesn't have that. But now California has wildfires and stuff. So we're actually thinking about moving back. I know, right?
All right. I mean, it's good to have
Taxes are hard.
folks. Sure. I mean, it is good to have folks out here. There was a fleeting moment when I thought about leaving. I'm from here. Like I was born and raised in California.
You're trying to go to Oklahoma?
Not necessarily Oklahoma, but I've never been to Oklahoma. I'm actually going to Oklahoma. I guess when this video is coming out, I'll have already been there. But I'm going for the first time in July.
I'm going next week.
Oh, cool.
So fun fact, the Tiger King, fucking that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually getting some animals from the confiscation of that. So I have to go out there and assist with that.
So is that all getting shut down then, basically? Like the
Yeah,
whole
so
facility
it's not Joe. So when I say Tiger King, it's not Joe, it's Jeff Lowe. And so his, by the time this video comes out, it'll already happen, so I can say this. There's some animals being confiscated. And so myself and a couple other zoos are teaming together to help give those animals a place because they're not in the best condition.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's still there. I'll find out next week. So we're going to go out there and just do our best and try to help as many animals as we can.
Wow. Yeah, good for you. I mean, good for you too for coming out here and trying it in a state that's harder. Like that's one of the things. Like I decided, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna do what I do and not let a state, whatever happens to happen. Like if everybody just leaves, then what's gonna happen?
Exactly. Yeah. So the driving factor between us leaving is because we just can't afford property. Like our facility sits on 6.5 acres, and we house about 70 animals there. 90% of them come from Fish and Wildlife, dropping animals off. And we have 7 resident alligators. And they range in size from the little one you're going to meet to 12 feet, And they just take up a lot of space. And we're so tired of renting. And, as Daniel and I are first-time home buyers, we're not going to be able to afford $2 million and we want to actually have a place open to the public. We want to build like a zoo, a sanctuary type thing. So people can actually come to us. We have a little small place now, the Sloth House, where people can do small tours, but we want to be able to host like school groups.
Sure.
And so, if someone sees this video and donates a couple $1 million, to let me build a zoo, I'll stay
here in California.
Yeah,
hey,
for sure.
You never know who's good. Sometimes it's all it takes. Just the right person happens to see that. I was like, I love that. Here, let's check out some of the animals so we can.
So this first one is a baby common snapping turtle.
Wow, that is much smaller than I was imagining was about to pop out over here. The thing is adorable.
That's the problem.
That's the problem right there. Some people are like, oh, that's so cute. I need one.
So this little guy was actually caught in Richmond, in a creek.
Richmond, California.
Richmond, California, which they are not native here. And so he's on a move. Stop.
Well, that almost worked.
I wish. And so, there's actually a breeding population here in California. So we get a lot of snapping turtles in as rescues. And we brought him in today because we have one of our larger common snapping turtles. Because a lot of times people try to go online and they're like, I don't care if it's illegal, especially here in California. And they'll get them as pets. And then they'll just let them go when they don't want them. And little guys like this can survive. All right, he's your problem now. He's on your side of the table.
I'm gonna guide him over. Guide him with the camera.
And so we got 5 of these guys. I actually, Jay came up to visit me, I don't know, a few months ago, and it was like right after Christmas, and I put one on a bow, and I said, Merry Christmas, and I gifted him 2 of these. He wasn't very happy, but he took them.
Merry Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if we don't take them in, they'll actually get euthanized. So that's why we always accept everything.
Yeah, that's tough, man. What's up, buddy? You want to walk into the camera?
Maybe. He thinks he's tough. Common snapping turtles are bosses.
Yeah, he seems like I can respect the boss mode he's got going on right now.
So I learned something on the internet. I'm not 100% sure if it's true. So maybe when this video comes out, someone can correct me. But I found out that common snapping turtles strike at 150 miles per hour.
Wow. I mean, I
know it's fast, but
that is fast. But I wouldn't doubt it. Like they're super quick. I mean, you see with the speed at which they snap.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
It's definitely fast.
So this week alone, we've actually gotten 4 rescue snapping turtles in.
This guy is just a mover and a shaker. Oh, my goodness.
He's like ready to go.
He's like, where is the water?
He's like, let me go be invasive here. I don't care. I will mess up that western pond turtle.
I heard that was a western. Ooh, I think I saw a western pond turtle the other day. I got on video. I'll have to confirm.
These guys are causing a huge problem with western pond turtles because they just can't compete with something like this, especially as they get older. They just
these guys just. I mean, you see how he's charging right here as a baby.
Yeah, full of personality. I really like the common snapping turtles compared to the alligator snapping turtles, though, because they're just so personable. Like, all of our common snapping turtles, when we go by the pond, they all pop up, and they're like, are you going to bring us food? Where the alligator snapping turtles, they just kind of sit there, but they're still cool.
It's really cool that he's not being very snappy as a baby.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Uh-oh, I dug your claw into the thing there, bud. He's like, all right, forward we go, onward.
He's like, I'm ready to go. I will walk right off this table. I don't care.
Are they like that? Is it no depth perception? Will
No,
he just dive?
absolutely not. He would totally walk off the table.
Yeah, we don't want you to do that, bud. I mean, you might have a hard shell, but that's a long way down.
Yeah.
We want to keep you. We want to keep your shell intact, and we want to keep your brain unscrambled. How about that?
Yeah, he. Whenever they're full grown, their necks can extend 19 inches too, and so they're not as fun to hold.
Oh, they can. They're the ones that they can reach up over and grab you right.
Yeah,
over the
exactly.
Back, right?
Someone in our last show was like, "Oh, why is he holding the common snapping turtle like that?" Because I don't pick up the big one because I'm a baby, and they're like, "Well, I don't really want to get my fingers bit, so we hold them by like their back legs, which is how we learned training with AZA zoos." And so but the baby ones, they're super easy.
Yeah, I feel like it would still hurt if it bit me, but
it wouldn't be the worst thing.
It wouldn't be the worst thing.
I feel like you've been bit by worse things.
Yeah, I'd probably be like, oh,
you have kids.
That's true. Oh, little buddy, I'm gonna let you run back to mama. How about that?
He's like, I don't care.
He's like,
I'm
he's
gonna go
going backwards
way.
time. He's like, forward has not been working for me.
If he runs to you, you have to keep him and get a license for him.
So what does a license like something? So what does it take to get something like that licensed? Like,
so each species here in California, snapping turtle, sloth, whatever it is, we actually have to have a Fish and Wildlife permit and a USDA. Now, USDA does not govern over reptiles and birds, but in order to get the Fish and Wildlife permit here, you have to have a USDA permit. So each species, we have to have 2,400 hours and 3 letters of recommendation. We have to be inspected by a state veterinarian and our veterinarian. And Fish and Wildlife can come in anytime they want, just to do a surprise inspection. And then we also have annuals.
So it's not something you can just throw money at. You have to show experience.
No, I mean, you
That's
throw
good.
money at it too. Don't worry. Whether
you
it's
throw
free.
money and experience. You have to.
Yeah. So they want to make sure that you know what you're doing before you get the animal.
Sure.
So it makes sense. It is very hard though. They make it very difficult for people that want to get started in it. And that's like the hardest thing about like people that always want to work with animals out here. It's a common thing is there's no places that allow hands-on experiences, and there's nowhere to really train. And then everybody that is licensed doesn't want to write letters of recommendation because then there'll eventually be competition.
Gotcha.
And so it's kind of a dog-eat-dog world out here. But yeah, the inspections are very expensive. They make it very difficult, but it's worth it in the end because you get to save little guys' lives like this guy.
Totally makes sense. Well,
the next one is actually
I'm gonna let him go before he.
Yeah, he's like, I'm about to walk right off. The next one is actually an animal that was thrown in the dumpster.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know.
I guess this is why I'm okay with like. I was kind of joking about California with all its laws, but like it's good that they're regulating. It need to have some checks and balances, so the animals aren't just getting thrown in dumpsters, right?
Exactly. So this is Captain Crunch, and Captain Crunch is an American alligator hatchling.
Such a cool name.
And you can tell which animals I named and Daniel, because like Daniel's alligator's name is Ymir, and then I'm like Captain Crunch, Darth Gator, Gatorade. But it was my turn to name the next animal, so Captain Crunch. And he was actually thrown in a dumpster. A lady contacted me on one of the Crocodilian groups I'm on Facebook, and she was like, is this a Caiman? Or I was like, definitely not a Caiman. So we don't really know a lot about his backstory. Oh, there we go.
He's calling.
Oh, there we go. And a little bit of pee, too. That's nice.
Yes.
And so, yeah, Captain Crunch is one of a few alligators we have. All of our alligators we have are rescues. Every single one we have. They're all illegally brought into California. And the big zoos, I have nothing against big zoos, but they won't take in rescues anymore. They just stopped. And so this last week, we actually got a rescue alligator in that has a hook stuck in his throat.
Ooh.
And it came all the way up from San Diego because no zoos from San Diego up would take him because they were going to have to front the cost of the surgery. And so we took him on, and so we just took him to the 3rd vet visit yesterday to kind of get a game plan on what we're going to do. So we get a lot of rescue alligators. We normally get about 7 to 15 every year, and we're up in Sonoma County. And we work with zoos across the country, kind of rehoming them. It's flying, man.
The fly is going.
He's like,
The fly is going to die.
Yeah, so we work with zoos across the country, and so we kind of rehome them there. But a lot of times we're kind of like hospice too, because not all the animals we get are in the best shape. I know, dude. Will you sit down? Will you stay still? He's like, no way.
I don't think so. You see that turtle?
Here we go. Normally alligators are a little more mellow.
There you go. Yeah.
Alligators are my favorite crocodilian. I love them. Just the
Why so?
normal American alligator. Probably because they're just more mellow. Like our
Okay.
Morlet's crocodile, she is angry. Like so angry. And there's just a difference, and just the temperament. I love the coloring. I just like the normal stuff. You know what I mean? You don't have to do anything fancy with them. I mean, don't get me wrong. If someone wants to donate an albino alligator, we'll happily take it.
Sure.
But I just love the alligators. They're just really interesting to work with. They're really intelligent. We're currently tap training our alligators, and we're also training our big alligator to do voluntary blood draws. And so we study...
Voluntary blood draws.
Yeah, so our largest alligator is about 11-ish feet, and he weighs a few hundred pounds. He's only 12 years old. He came from a zoo where he was indoors, and so we were actually able to move him outdoors because I'm a big believer in natural sunlight, and it helps animals. And so Yorm came to live with us, and we were super excited to add him. And we are training him to be stationary trained, which is like kind of... when we walk in, he's not lunging at the door for food. And so we're also working on voluntary blood draws from his tail. So a lot of the crocodilians are being studied because they're curing a lot of things. Like we're studying their blood for different antibiotics. The freshwater croc from Australia, they're studying their blood. It's something that attacks HIV. So it's huge things that we're discovering with crocodilians, and then we're just kind of breaking the surface right now. Daniel could tell you all about it. Like that's like his thing. But yeah, so I just like the American alligators. They're really fun to work with. They have little personalities. They get big,
Yeah, sure. Oh, I saw some at the Phoenix Herpetological Society.
I'm going there next
sanctuary.
week.
Oh,
I
that
love
place is
them.
awesome. Yeah, super cool folks and super cool animals. They're those couple American alligators that were rescued that are huge.
Yeah, they want to send one to me, and I was like, please don't.
These things are enormous.
Yeah, they're really good friends of mine. I actually have been working with them for the last 5 years. So a lot of my alligators I get in, if I can't keep them, they go to them. And so we work like side by side all the time. We've actually been trying to work on a crocodilian conservation project together. We're starting to look for funds for it. And whenever we just started doing the crocodilian program. Literally today is our first one ever. And so they're like, we need to add different species to your crocodilian program. So they're looking into donating some whenever we have like the enclosures built and everything too. So we're excited to start working with them. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Ready to Cuban,
Man, yeah. Do some teach him to jump through a hoop or something.
Yeah, just Daniel's missing an arm on stage. We're like, it's fine.
Oh my God. Wow.
Daniel's gonna watch this and he's gonna be like, why do you say this stuff?
Is there you have a third down there? You got a third surprise?
I do.
Ooh, exciting. Exciting.
So this is Cusco. And the water where we have is really, really high in calcium, which is why he's white.
Did you just say that his name is Cusco?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, we named him after Emperor's New Groove, but we can say we named him after you.
Yeah. Some people would say that Emperor's New Groove was named after us.
Ah.
So.
Well, when we first got him, he was about the size of his tail. So he was a hatchling, and he would have these little no touchy moments. So we're like, no touchy. So we named him Cusco.
Dude, that movie in my family, my sister knows every quote from the movie.
So does Daniel. He can quote movies like crazy. But he's actually an animal we've been working with every day for a little over a year and a half. And I mean, you know what an adult dwarf caiman is. They grow into something pretty intense. And we have both species of caiman at our facility. We have the smooth front caiman, which is labeled as a dwarf caiman too. And then we also have the Cuviers. And he's actually part of our sloth house tours. So we bring him out and we let guests interact with them. They learn all about, crocodilian conservation. These guys aren't endangered right now, but we all know how quickly that can change.
Yeah.
But he is a very well-behaved Caiman.
Yeah, look at him just chilling there.
Yeah, but he's also worked with all the time.
Such an impressive set of teeth. That they're just
Mm-hmm.
they're so intimidating looking. Their faces are just
The adults, whenever we just got 2 rescue adults in from a zoo that was shut down in Florida, and they are 14, 15 years old, long-term captives, and I was shocked. Like, I've been in the zoo system for a long time. I've never seen an adult one of these guys. When I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't pick it up. My hands aren't big enough to go, like, secure him all the way. But we actually have him here, too, so maybe you'll get to see him later.
Yeah.
He just would break this table.
Sure. Yeah. I'll run over there with the vlog camera.
I love talking about how, like, Jurassic Park, though. You know, they use these guys in Jurassic Park. The Indominus Rex
Oh, right.
is based off this animal.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yeah.
can totally see it.
Oh, yeah. No, and they're also moving crocodilians out of the reptile family and putting them with
Interesting.
birds because they're more closely related to a chicken.
I thought they removed birds into the reptile family or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. It's one or the other because that's what one of our guys was telling me the other day. He was like, yeah, did you hear about the crocodilians? They're not in reptiles anymore. And I'm like, whoa. But, I mean, I guess they predated dinosaurs, so makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, that's so interesting and weird. I guess I like to just appreciate, like, it's awesome. You call it whatever you want. Let's go.
Yeah. Sure, whatever you say.
Yeah, whatever you say. You want to call that? All right.
All right. No, I like the Cuvier's dwarf Caiman. The smooth front Caimans I don't mess with. That's a Daniel animal. They're very quick.
Yeah, no doubt.
But no, I love Cusco. He's one of our top outreach animals. He's very dry right now. You okay?
I feel like you're talking about me.
You're very dry.
I do-
You need some lotion.
I do pretty good at outreach, too. I'm a great outreach animal.
We'll bring you up on stage like, and this is Cusco. People are like, what the heck?
You're a little dry today.
It's a little dry. No, he's got some of the algae that dried up on him from his enclosure.
Yep. Out traveling will do that to you.
No, I was like, but he gets to go home tonight. We drive back and forth each night, so he gets
Oh,
to go
nice.
back in his enclosure
That's
tonight.
awesome.
Yeah. I like how they turn dark, too. Whenever
Yeah.
they're full grown, they get like black, and then their teeth get bright yellow and just
Super
so
crazy
intense.
looking. It's very intense. I mean, if there's a more intense Caiman speed, there's not anything more intense than a dwarf Caiman as far as the facial features.
Oh,
It's
no, they just
not.
look angry.
Yeah,
But I think that's another reason I like alligators. They don't look angry.
that's true. They don't. They
They're
look
just
like,
Happy to be here.
It's totally true.
Cusco's like, I'm just thinking about how many ways I can bite your finger right now.
He does look like he's thinking
he's
that.
calculating it,
He's
you
like,
know?
she's gonna slip at some moment.
He's like, she'll forget I'm here.
Well, speaking of happy to be here, thank you very much.
No, thanks for
coming to
having
sit
me. I've
down.
always loved you, your show, and everything. And now he's going to act like a Caiman. See?
Yep. He's like, I was cool. I was waiting for my moment. It's clear now I'm not going to get it, so guess
He's
what?
like, you started talking about somebody else. So, well, no, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
It was
thank
fun.
you, Brandi, for coming over. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in to the show today. As always, we're having a live Q&A Zoom call with Brandi as soon as this premiere video is over. If you're watching live now, I always premiere these videos so that people can chat down in the comments below and talk about all the awesome things that are happening in the video while they're happening. So if you want to tune into the call afterwards, the link's down in the description. Go find it down there. And next week, we're going to be having Nick of Renowned Reptiles on the show, whether he likes it or not. I'll see you guys on the... Wait a minute, what you haven't been on? What are you talking about? Did you bring some animals?
Why does he need animals? Yeah, we're
Oh,
going.
what are you talking about? I've never been on. I've been at your house, filming at your house. What are you talking about? All right. Anyway, you watch Triple
Anyway,
BT.
either way, we're going there after.
All right.
He's all right. You guys are really fucking.
All right, yeah, great. This is what I'm dealing with. See you guys next week.
Basically, bloopers.